Hello my angels and devils and all who may wander here. I am Amanda Christina, this is Heavenly Imaginings, and we are getting into a tutorial for this mini album. Now, I gave the original away, so this one is slightly different. However, I did this with, oh, it's also upside down. I did this with the Microcosmos collection from Ciao Bella, and it is a beautiful collection. It honestly, I think sometimes less is more with such beautiful paper. So we have two photo mats, we have the cut aparts, and on the back I've just left the paper because they were just so pretty. And then you go this way, you have another photo mat. So you can use the back of it as a photo mat or write in white gel pen. And then I've created these using the palm cards that you get. So instead of using Project Life cards, I used palm cards and did that instead. So you just to show that there are other ways to get a lined background. You don't have to have the Project Life cards. I just happened to get mine very cheap. This paper is just absolutely stunning. So this is the fold out bit. Now the bit that's a little bit different in this is that instead of having the two blank pages sort of opposite each other, I just had these two, and then I had a blank page on either side of it, and then more photo mats, more cut aparts, and then the very back with another photo mat and some more journaling spots, which you can also add little photos to here, and that's it. It is a very simple, very economical album. This is what I literally have left, and I could easily have made some more journaling cards, used some of the scraps of cardstock to make some nice long bookmark type tags. We still have a sheet of cut aparts, and that's it. And the bottom of the cover sheet. So that is everything I have left after doing a whole mini album, and these pieces won't go to waste. They can be used to make embellishments. I can make half a dozen little cards with them because you've got the cards and you can stamp in those little semicircles. So that is what we are doing today. So what we will need is, you need a trimmer and a scoreboard, whether yours is all in one or not. You need a 6x6 paper pad. Now, or paper pack. Now, you want around 24 sheets to be available to you. You need some tape, a really nice strong glue. I'm using art glitter glue. You need a corner rounder punch and either a notch punch or a circle punch so that you can just cut out some little bits just to make it easy to see where things come from. You need 9 to 10 sheets of cardstock. Now this is really thick. This is 350 GSM. Unfortunately, I can't link you to it at the moment. It is unfortunately out of stock on Craft Online where I got it from. However, you can use a thinner cardstock. The idea of this album is that it is beautiful, but it is meant to be soft cover. Like, this is sort of how, as long as you look after it and you're not putting it in weird positions and stuff, like, you get a really nice sturdy album from this. So if you can't find 350 GSM, which is around 300 pounds, then just go for your next level that you can find. So I'm going to pull out the zoom a little so you're actually going to be able to see what I'm doing. Please tell me I have a... Oh! That's smart, Amanda. Let's see what I've got here that I can use. Does this go along? Yep, okay. I forgot to bring a bone folder with me. Okay, so we can move that out of the way now. There's very little cutting like actual measuring and cutting involved in this. This is probably one of the easiest albums I've created. Yeah, I love making this. It's easy. To me, it's like my folio. It's just an album that you can throw together fairly easily. Now, because we're using 6x6, our cover needs to be 7 inches square. So we're going to cut to 7 inches to start with. Me trying to line things up. I really need to get some new blades for this. Not too crisp, a little bit shabby, but not too bad. Okay, and then now we need it to be 7 inches plus a ½ inch plus 2 inches. So we want 9.5 inches. Now I will show you why we have the extra ½ inch. Things are moving in my background that I'm not even touching. We need the extra ½ inch for a reason with the covers. So this is something you could easily use and make like a bookmark insert and just cut it down a little. Okay, so we want 2 pieces at 7 by 9. So let's trim these 2 pieces first. This is such thick cardstock, it's very hard to know sometimes if you've got more than one piece. And 9.5. Okay. So pop those aside. They are your cover pieces. Now, the other thing we need to trim is we need 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we need 3 pieces of this. 1, 2, and 3. So we need these to be I'm going to make these just a little bit smaller than I made them in the ones I just did, because I had them at 6.5 and they were just a little bit too big. Oh, hang on, no, it's 6. That's right. So these are going to be 6 by 5.5. So we get rid of that piece. Again, another piece you could use to make bookmarks or other bits with. And then we want these at 5.5. And we want 6 of these. So, and I'm doing this in real time so you can see how quick and simple this is. I don't normally cut everything first. I usually do things as I go. That way I don't get... Yeah, see, and that's... I try and have as little waste as I can. So that's 2. And then we just need to do the other 2. So we go to 6. And then go 5.5. And we do the next one at 5.5. And just chop that little bit off. And then we do the very last one for that. And this is literally all the cutting we have to do in terms of cardstock. We will have to cut our papers, but it's fairly easy to do that. I don't actually... Okay, that's alright. I just did this at 5.5 instead of 6.5. 6. But I can't actually do this one at 6 because there isn't enough. So we're just going to do this a little bit smaller, and we'll put those together as... Yep, that was my fault. I was too busy blabbing and I didn't pay attention to what I was doing, and I had 5.5 stuck in my head. So we have 2. I could easily go back through and trim those off, make them all the same, but honestly, it's not really going to matter too much if you have a couple different sizes. So I'm just popping those under my tripod. So now we're going to start with the scoring. So I'm just going to pop this over, flip that down. Now, it's very simple scoring for the cover. You're going to score at 7. I can't believe I forgot to bring a bone folder out here. So I do it a couple of times because this is such thick cardstock, and then you're going to do it at 9. So 7 and 9 are you scoring for your and that gives you the little ½ inch on the end, which I'll show you. I could have done that smaller, but I find that ½ inch is sort of the last spot you can get a decent fold line. Okay, so that's your covers. Now your pages, and you're going to do 4 of these. So you're going to go down at 6.5. Because your paper is 6 inches, you're doing 6.5. Now, if you had Kaiser Craft paper, which is 6.5 by 6.5, you would do that at 7 and just have a slightly smaller fold-up line. Now, you're going to do ½ inch. And why are we doing ½ inch to start with? Because this is what you'll be gluing down. Now, I didn't do this. There's a reason I did not do... Okay. Let me have a look. I'm going to do ½ inch at the end. Oh, I wonder if I can do it this way. Just having trouble getting that ½ inch to... there we go. To score then. Got it. Sometimes paper or cardstock is weird, like it doesn't want to score as easily on one spot as it does another. Okay, so then you're going to go 7 because we're 6.5. And that's it. So again, straight down at 6.5. Turn half. Ooh. This is a little bit slipperier than a bone folder, that is for sure. So 7, so ½ inch and 7. No, yes, it's all right. I'm having a moment. It's okay. I just had a senior moment. And then the same. We've just got 2 more to do. So we score at 6.5. I think I may have scored one of these wrong. I'll have to go back and check. I did bring 6.5. ½ inch, 7 inches. Oh, I hate it when I slip. There we go. Okay, just going to double check this, that I have... Oh, that's right. I think we're okay. I think I was just having a moment. Yep. I'm having a moment because it's been a long time since I've done a more involved tutorial on here. So, here we go. Last one. No idea what that... Oh, it's beeping. Oh. So, 6.5. All the way... Well... Now, ½ inch and then 7 inches. As you can see, it's really not complicated. I couldn't tell you how long we have been doing this for, but mostly you've had a lot of me yammering. Now, this is your basic album done. Now, I can move the scoreboard for a memento. What we're going to do is let's put the cover together first. Now, the other thing I forgot to bring out was my big bone folder. So we're just going to use this one. I'm just making do with this one. Normally I would have my nice big one that came in the pack I bought. So we're just making sure these are nice and done easily. And we do the same to the other side. You want to be able to do those, that like that. Then this like this. Now, the reason we have these is because if you look at this, say this is your cover, and you have, like, it doesn't look bad like that, but when you have this little bit finished, it just gives the album a bit more of a finished look. So that's all that is. You don't have, if you don't want to be fussy about it, you don't have to do it. I just do it because I feel like that is a better option for the album. It, like, to me, it just gives it a cleaner look. And as we're still going to add glue to this piece, I'm not like yeah, we're not going to stress too much about worrying about how much tape we use and stuff, because we are going to still stick glue over the top of this to put it in the actual, to put it, glue the cover together. So there we go. So just run that over there just to make sure it's stuck down nicely. And we have one part of the album. And what I'm going to do is, because I'm not sure how long my camera will last, I am going to put up, I'm going to do the album, and then we'll do a separate video decorating the album and doing all the extra bits and pieces. Because I feel like that might be a better option. And also, don't know about you, but sometimes you just need a break. Also, I'm not sure how long the battery of my laptop will last for filming right now. Okay, so this is your cover. Now what you're going to do is you're going to basically put the two pieces together like this. So it's up to you which part you want for your front, whether you want the front without that, or whether you don't mind having that little edge piece showing at the top. It's completely up to you how you do it. I'm not sure you can... But see, that was the other option. Oh no, that one's, yeah, so you could have had the plain option, which there's nothing wrong with that. I just kind of get a little fussy and like having, now I just need to put my pin somewhere where I won't lose it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just grab the glue and make sure, don't go too close to the edge because you don't want it seeping out your edge. But make sure you do get as close as you can, and make sure you've got plenty of sticky. Now what I'm going to do is line this up, and a little bit of glue came out in a couple of spots, but nothing too major. Now you can always, if you wanted to, cover the spine to make it more what? To make it more yeah, to make it more sturdy or give it another look. I was trying to do this with using minimal. I want this to be sort of an under $20. If you can get your things on bargain prices, under $10 album. I want it to be something you can make easily. I wanted something I could make easily that would look good, especially showing off things like Ciao Bella paper and stuff. So now that is the basic cover. It's pretty simple, doesn't take a lot of work, and you have a cover. Now, if you want to use it that way or you want to use it that way, it is up to you. So whether you want to have the seam showing at the top there or whether you want to have it just without the seam, that is completely up to you. It's neither here nor there. It's just a personal preference. Now, for these, what I'll do first is we'll fold everything and burnish it. So just burnish along all the score lines. It doesn't really matter which way this one goes, so I like to burnish the half inch at the end, backwards and forwards, so that depending on which way you put things in. Yes, so we've got 4 pages to do that to, so let's do that to the 4 pages, to the other 3 pages, and then we can get on with designing what we want our pages to be, which is something that can be a little difficult. Now, if you just want to do it the way I did it in the first album, all you need to do is, instead of doing this bit, is to trim it to 6.5. That way, you don't need that piece. You just need this to be 6.5. I don't do that always because I like to make the decision as I go. But you could easily just trim that to 6.5 to have that the flip open page. But yeah, there are other things you can do, so let's just keep going and I will show you the other options once I've done these. So now, I know a lot of people prefer to do the hinge method where you enclose your hinges, and I do that a lot. However, for this one, just to make it a bit quicker and easier, and because this glue is really good, I don't do that at all. I legitimately haven't had any problems with flipping through the albums, having them come unstuck or anything. I think because it is only 4 pages as well, and we're not adding extra heavy things to the pages. So we're not actually adding inclusions to the pages, which I think also makes a big difference in terms of that kind of thing. Like if you're adding flips and flaps and other kinds of things, I think you would find that it would be a lot harder. Just folding this on back, just to give it a bit more flexibility. So you can go backwards and forwards. It just breaks down the fibres a little bit. Okay. So, now the other tip I will give you is do not glue your little flaps down until you are ready. So the first thing we're going to do is come in just beside the score line, just to make sure let me put my pin back in that. Okay, so now again I just cut up either side of the score line for this, because otherwise you find you do end up with just a little bit too much cardstock. So I just get rid of that little tiny score line. Okay, so now for the first one, that is how the first page looks. You've got your pocket, which we glue these 2 pieces down, and you've got your little flap. Then you flip it over, and then this one flips up here, and that is how you get your 3 pocket page. And then that will just be stuck into the book like that. So then let's see. Okay, so if you want a page with just this flap, so again, cutting along where you have your score lines. So you're basically cutting your score line off. Now, if that's going to be your flip open page, then that becomes either that, or you can do it how I have done it. Hang on. Yeah. Nope. Hang on. Let me figure this out. It's just a matter of like, okay, so we know this is the first page. So that's going to go there. So we know that goes there. If that goes there, we need another piece to go here. Okay. So, you need to cut, you need to cut these bits off here, off all 4 pieces. Now, we need to cut this piece off to give us our, so we want these, yeah, okay, yep, that works. Okay, so that's, so then that, I want to take this bit off that, so I'm just going to slice along the bottom. Now, you don't have to go to all this trouble to match everything up if you don't want to. I just liked having that flip open page, and what I extra like about it is it works without magnets. It holds really nicely without magnets. So there we have, so those will go in that way. And then on this one, I'm going to want to cut this long bit off so that we have the empty, like the plain page, so you've got those 2 plain pages facing each other. As I said, you don't have to go to all this trouble. You can just do the simple 3 pocket pages. I just like to change things up a little. And then, okay, and then we have that. Oh dear, what have I done? Okay, we have that. It's alright, I figured it out. Sometimes it's just about finding it as you fold it. So there we go. So now we know what orders our pages go in. So I'm going to grab the glue. And I'm going to glue down make sure you hit your corners well. Okay, so we're going to glue this down, and we're going to, you kind of just want to have it, so, sorry, trying to put this in a way where you can see it. You kind of want to have this over that overlap bit, because that bit is, like that fold over bit is the right bit, and then we're just going to totally smush it down really well, just to make sure that it's stuck in nicely. There we go, there's your first page. Now, which page was the second? That was the last one, I think. Okay, so let's see what order these were in. That's that way. now I've confused myself again. See what happens? Okay, that's the last page. I remember that being the last page. So we have those two facing each other. We want those two facing each other. So yeah, okay. And sometimes it is just a matter of, sorry, I keep leaning back to get comfortable and coming out of the camera shot. Trying to not go over the edges. Ah. It's a little awkward sometimes filming tutorials for me. I really need to get a better space set up for tutorials. And then, oh, okay, I have done this slightly wonky, but that's okay. It should still work. Just need to fold back this way, because usually I'll just leave a little bit of wiggle room, because I just did that back to front. Hang on. I will have to put something over the side of that I glued wrong, because yeah, and that's where your scraps and stuff can come in handy. You can scraps, or because yes, I definitely put the glue on the wrong side and it just wasn't going to work, because the idea of this is that you slide that piece into, yes, now we've got it. Why does it, I can do this perfectly when I'm not on camera. Put me on camera and I'm a bumbling fool. Okay, so then we have that one. Let me just make sure we really burnish that down. Oh. That's 2 pages down. And that one I might have to re-glue again, because just of the way I just did that. It's actually a user error. User error. Okay, so now this one goes this way, so we're going to put the glue on this side. So we're glue. Okay. And then again, you slot this in, so you've got a little bit of room, a little bit of time just to slide it to where it needs to go. And again, we're just gonna burnish it nicely onto the, and see, look, now that's stuck, it's fine. So now we have our page that is our double open up. We have a double pocket page. Then we go back here and we glue on this side so that we have our 2 blank pages and then another pocket page. So it's pretty simple. It's not hard to do. Anyone can do this stuff, I think. Like, this is something that I think anyone can do because it's quite an easy album. So this is part 1. And we're just going to, oops, got glue in the wrong spot as always. We're just going to make sure we burnish the glue just to make sure it sticks well. And we have our basic album. Now, even with me making all those mistakes, we are still at only 35 minutes. Now, that is start to finish to build a base, the base for your album. Now, I can't say that 35 minutes is too bad at all. Actually, that's a lot quicker than I was expecting. So I will see you in part 2 of this to decorate this album, which will probably take a few days because I'm not sure how much more I can handle sitting out here at the moment. It is cold, even with the heater full ball. Okay, I will talk to you soon, my angels and devils. Remember, as always, you are amazing. You are magical. And yes, you truly are indeed. Or you truly do indeed, I should say. Yes, you truly, truly do matter. Bye all!